We are playing host to National Directorate of Employment, though we are under pressure from Dangote, group of industries who are supposed to start off at 2 o'clock. So Dangote, sorry, ND, you have to do this in 15 minutes. And because you have 15 minutes, I won't take so much of your time. I'd like to present the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who is a former president of the University of Lagos alumni, a former president of the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, and at the same time, a former district governor of Rotary International, Otunba Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, CON. We have, is in company with the Deputy President, the man who is the financial guru himself, and of course, we analyze the economy and finances surrounding the economy for you, just like he's explaining something in the lecture room. I'm talking about I'm talking about our Vice President, our Deputy President, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, sometimes these things, Mr. Idahosa, FCA. Then we have the Chairman of the Trade Promotion Board, the President of Engineer Leye Kukolu, who is also a Vice President of the Chamber. The other members of the Trade Promotion Board, including our Treasurer, that are here, but as time permits, I'll introduce them later. Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. In our midst,
you have not responded. Can we do this in 15 minutes?
The Lord will help us. We know it's a crash program. Thank you once again. Just as you have all noticed, in our midst is the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo San, who is the Supervising Minister of NDE and the Chairman of his board. Can we please appreciate him, please? You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. We also have in our midst the Head of Department, Inspectorate from Abuja, Mrs. Ike Uforo. You are welcome. Mrs. Uforo is representing the Director General and the Malam Abubakar Nufuku. Please, let's appreciate her, please. We also have in our midst our sister, Mrs. Edward, the State Coordinator, Lagos State, NDE. You are welcome. Time will not permit us to introduce every August visitor from Abuja here because we have only 15 minutes. So please, we'll move forward by the opening remarks by the President, LCCI. Let's appreciate, please. You're welcome, sir.
It is to me a great pleasure and privilege to welcome my dear brother and friend, the Honorable Minister of State for the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, SCN. Can you please clap for him, please? Is one of those strong professionals in politics, and he's doing very well with it. Can we again clap for him? Because we need more of him who are professionals, not those who are looking for a job, but those who are already accomplished and who have gone to politics start to serve Nigeria. I also acknowledge the Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Malam Abubakar Nuru, who is very ably here represented. Directors who are here from NDE, here to also acknowledge Deputy President of SCCI, Mr. Idahosa FCA, Vice President, Engineer Laya Kupolui, other members of the board who are here present, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm so delighted here today to welcome everyone to the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Special Day event at the ongoing 36th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair. May I, on behalf of Council, Trade Promotion Board, and the entire membership of SCCI, appreciate your presence here for your support in the chamber to be at this program. As with previous editions of the LITF, the generic theme, Connecting Businesses, Creating Value, is aimed at facilitating trade, commerce, and investment towards the advancement of industrialization in Nigeria, engender high growth rate of the gross domestic product, GDP, and to promote inclusive and sustainable economic development. This year's trade fair is specially packaged to showcase innovations in goods and services of indigenous and homegrown businesses and enterprises in Africa, thereby giving them a platform for connecting with partners and investors across the world. Against the backdrop of the recalibration of global supply chains as induced by the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine, as well as the concomitant headwinds to the global economy as a result of all this, there's a need to invent new methods and models of doing business. The overreaching goal of this year's trade fair is to create value by supporting the development aspirations of our exhibitors, including domestic investors, foreign investors, bilateral and trade agencies, also for multinationals, conglomerates, and financial sector regulators. I want to confirm to you that this trade fair gives a platform that will give mileage to any company that is here represented. I wish to particularly commend the Managing Director of the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Malam Abubakar Nuhu Fiko, for the recent flag off of the Basic Business Training, BBT, for youth across the country. The program, we are told, is to train young citizens in waste recycling and wealth creation, which of course will happen in a very big way among our youths. This also helps to create an environment that is free of all the pollution we now have around us, and also bridge for better human hygiene. The rate of unemployment in Nigeria is about 40%, which serves as a threat to security and a driver of poverty. The poverty level in Nigeria, the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, has a critical role in the fight against poverty and insecurity. They're doing their best, but you can be sure with our population, there's a lot more to be done to have the impact that we require. We urge the Directorate to devise innovative job creation strategies to reduce the number of unemployed persons in Nigeria. Training and capacity building for youth and retired personnel are veritable tools for job creation and entrepreneurship. We congratulate once again the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, for its engagement of unemployed persons across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as part of the quick fix demand driven scheme. Can you please clap for NDE? I wonder if there's no NDE, what could have happened to many youths who so far today have been taken out of poverty. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is the oldest chamber in West Africa, we are 134 years old this year. We are very proud to be associated with the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, in its push for a stronger and more prosperous Nigeria. I also confirm that the fair is enriched with extensive media content deployed across traditional and the social media platforms to give more value to our participants. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister in particular, I'm very glad to welcome you all to this National Directorate of Employment, Nde Special Day at the current year trade fair. The Lord bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Please, I will appreciate Ashiwaju. The man is a very strong man. He has been on his feet this morning. Please, let's appreciate him better, please. Thank you so much, sir. In order not to inhibit the timetable, we will call on the representative of the ND Director General who is going to summarize the presentation of the DG, and then we call on the Honorable Minister. I have the honor to call on Mrs. Ifu Oro A.K., HOD Inspectorate from Abuja, who is representing the DG Malam Abaka Nofukupo. Please, let's put our hands together, please. She can do this in 2 minutes. I trust her. You are welcome, ma'am.
Honorable Minister, sir, the executives of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the State Coordinator, National Directorate of Employment, Lagos State Office, the staff of NDE, gentlemen of the press, our dear exhibitors, you are all welcome. I stand here with great regret to make excuses for my Director General, Malam Abubakar Fikpo, for his inability to attend this honorable occasion. We are all full of regrets because he really wanted to be here. With that said, I will just bridge it with a vote of thanks, thanking my honorable minister for not letting us down. As usual, whenever you turn up, you do make a difference. I thank the executives of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce for sustaining this platform for us. I know it is no mean feat. And I just pray that the tempo will begin to pick up again after this occasion. I can see that the tempo is a bit low. but it also mirrors the economic realities. My prayer is that it will surely pick up. Thank you for all your efforts. With that said, my DG would have been here. If he had been here, he would have read his speech. But I'll just implore you to take time to go over his speech. It's a well-written speech, and I believe he has taken time to capture the job creation efforts of the National Directorate of Employment. But I'll just read the last paragraph of his speech, because in that last paragraph, he is practically telling us how to carry on the baton. So I'll go straight there. And it says, finally, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to draw your attention to the young entrepreneurs who are exhibiting at the NDE stand. Let me point out that only our committed patronage to their products and services would keep them in business. There is no better time to support and encourage the growth of local business initiatives than now that the Nigerian youths are making efforts to be self-employed. Our resolve to produce, buy, and consume made in Nigeria products will speedily promote growth of the economy, reintegrate our regions, and unify the country. Once more, I count it a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this special occasion. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you all. You are all welcome. Thank you.
Please, let's appreciate her. She has spent exactly 2 minutes. Thank you very much. You just heard the voice, the opinion of Director General in the voice of a woman. Without wasting our time, I will have the pleasure to call a man that we can call our own. We have known him for a very long time. He's a man of the people, to give a keynote address. I'm talking of the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo San, S-A-N San, FCIARB, UK. Festus Keyamo, once again, you are invited to please give a keynote address. You are welcome. Please, let's appreciate him, please. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Don't worry, I'll use my... I don't know whether they have established the list of protocol before, but I have a long list here, but permit me to mention them because this is a special occasion. And so I recognize the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ashiwaju, Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, CON, ever young, ever smiling, and like a father to me. The Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, Dr. Chinyere Amuna, FCA. The Director General, National Director of Employment, my own Malam Abubakar Fikpo, here represented. He actually called me this morning. He was at the airport, and the flight was delayed twice. And it was obvious that even if he had waited, he wouldn't be able to meet this occasion. So his apologies again. The Chairman, Trade Promotion Board, Engineer Lei Kukbolui, and also the Vice President of LCCI. The directors of ND here present, my own people. Members of the ND management team here present, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it's up to a year now since I came here the last time. That is how much time flies. But I'm excited to be here, and My hosts have been very hospitable to me since I arrived. Thank you so much. So now it is with my great pleasure to be here today to participate in the activities marking the special day of the National Director of Employment at this year's Lagos International Trade Fair. As you may all be aware, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, is committed to securing lives and properties within the country and will not relent in ensuring a safe and secure environment for citizens, as well as productive activities to thrive in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari is also fulfilling his promise in the provision of infrastructural facilities that you can see everywhere in the country. The entire country has become one huge construction site, with many direct and indirect jobs on its tail. The 156-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail has been completed. Finishing touches are being put to the second Niger bridge, and that should be commissioned any minute from now. Hopefully, it will be commissioned before December this year. The administration is also committed to promoting a prosperous economy and provision of employment for the teeming masses of the country. We are reviving the economy through well-articulated programs and schemes, especially in the labor employment sector. I am glad that in the last 2 years, we have made remarkable progress in the implementation of employment creation programs to stimulate economic activities that will not only generate blue-collar jobs, but contribute significantly to the much-desired economic growth and diversification. Let me commend the efforts of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the organizer of this event, for providing the opportunity for both local and international businessmen and women to interact. I should also add that the National Directorate of Employment, since early years of this, has remained one of the government agencies that have supported the Lagos Commerce and Industry to grow tremendously and become the leading forum for trade and business in Nigeria. Congratulations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to inform you that ND is currently skilling up the Federation. The Skills Acquisition Program activities of the ND is Entrepreneurship Development Program, the Rural Employment Promotion, and Public Works activities are all in line with the Economic Policy Trust of the federal government, which has special focus on employment creation for the jobless, especially our teeming youths. NDE has produced many successful small and medium-scale entrepreneurs who have been contributing to the gross domestic product of the nation. It has also produced a pool of artisans in the informal sector who have made significant contribution to the Nigerian domestic market. Development is being brought to the rural areas through job creation activities in the agricultural sector, which has also given a boost to the nation's food security. I note with satisfaction that the Directorate has performed creditably in the execution of its mandates of job creation and poverty alleviation. I have also witnessed various NDE programs under which young men and women were exposed to entrepreneurial and skill acquisition opportunities designed to equip them with critical skills required to successfully set up and run private enterprises to stimulate the economy. The vision of President Muhammad Buhari policies is committed to the transformation of every facet of our national life. The vigorous pursuit of the agricultural value chain, the transformation agenda in the micro and small scale industries, and provision of marketable skills set as paraded by the NDE are all relevant to the determination towards bailing out 100 million people out of poverty by the year 2030. These numerous initiatives of the federal government are not only commendable, but require the support of all Nigerians. I hereby urge every true Nigerian to be positive and support the administration of President Muhammad Buhari in his last lap towards building a prosperous country in which equity, justice, and freedom will prevail irrespective of religion, cultural, and of ND-sponsored entrepreneurs to trade fairs such as this is to enable them exchange useful ideas with other participants and to spur them to greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, the young men and women who are products and services at the pavilion of the NDE today further demonstrates that the efficacy of the NDE approach to self-employment creation is alive and well. In conclusion, let me advise all unemployed youths and graduates to take a cue from the exhibition in the NDE pavilion. They represent our modest effort onto self-employment and economic growth. I will just pause here to intersperse this speech with my own comments made extempore that this is a clarion call to our graduates at any tertiary level who are complaining all the time about unemployment. It is important they know that they should broaden their minds and their search for employment beyond their one-track mind of waiting to get an employment letter from either a government institution or a private company. That is the kind of employment they have always known all their lives. Most of them, they have to wait to get that magic letter to put them on probation for 6 months, and thereafter they are confirmed as employees of these organizations, either in the formal or informal sector. But then, with what has been presented and all the programs of government, especially the NDA, you have also things like the graduate assistant program and so many others. Graduates should look beyond waiting for the magic employment letter. They should think of acquiring skills that can make them self-employed, and so they can also employ more people under their belts. All over the world, there is, especially in the Western world, there's always dignity in labor. Dignity in labor. And so the people who have skills in the Western world, they earn more money than those who have white-collar jobs. The plumbers, the carpenters, the electricians, so many others who have acquired skills, they can earn in 2 days what a white-collar employee is waiting to earn in 1 month. They can. And they are given their pride of place in those societies. That's what we call the dignity of labor. Nobody looks down on them. Nobody. They are as dignified in their employment as any other. And I think that is the culture that we must imbibe, not only in Nigeria, but in the whole of Africa. And so finally, I wish to use this opportunity to place on record my gratitude to the government and the good people of Lagos State. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I want to quickly crave the indulgence of the Honorable Minister to remain here while I invite the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to make a presentation on behalf of the Chamber.
Honorable Minister, sir, this document is a catalog that will give you details of all those who are participating at this fair. Once again,
Thank you very much. I know NDE has gifts for the President and Deputy President. That will be done off camera, or at least, please you can go because of time. Dangote Group of Companies, thank you very much for your patience and understanding. Very shortly, we'll be taking on the Dangote Special Day. Right now, because I call on the head of Information and Public Relations to quickly move the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, the little minutes we have is just to give thanks, but once again, I want us to appreciate the Honorable Minister. He has spoken to us not as a politician, he has spoken to us as a leader. A politician will talk about votes and winning, but a leader will talk about your growth and your future. Please let us put our hands together for him, please. Let's appreciate him. Thank you very much, sir. Well, we want to thank everyone that is here. First of all, we want to thank the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We want to thank Asiwaju Dr. Michael Olawale Cole for what he has been doing in this chamber. Thank you for the time. We want to thank all the officials of SCCI. We want to thank all the ND staff, our directors, and members of management staff. Most importantly, we want to thank the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Minister of Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo San. Thank you for your time. Thank you. You're welcome home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You are invited to the NDE Pavilion so that you can have engagements with the NDE staff. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we rise for the Nigerian National Anthem?